Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Learn Linux TV. In today's video, what I'm going to do is show you a very useful terminal trick that I've come up with. And this is going to be useful for those of you that spend a lot of time in the terminal. And actually, this trick addresses a very common habit that most of us Linux users are guilty of. I'll show you what I mean. Here in my terminal, what I'm going to do is change into another directory. And as you can see, I used the ls command to list the contents of this directory. What's interesting about this is that most Linux users will use ls after switching directories habitually every single time, whether they actually needed to see a directory listing or not. Now you could just adjust your muscle memory and only use ls when you actually need it, but why fight it? Now, check this out. I've implemented the tweak that I'm going to show you in this video, and watch what happens when I change directories now. Automatic ls. And while this tweak may not be desirable for everyone, I'm sure a lot of you are going to love it. So what I'm going to do in this video is show you exactly how I set it up. And this is a quick video, so there's no sponsor mention or anything like that, so let's just dive into it right now. To implement this tweak, it's actually quite simple. On the screen right now, as well as in the description below, I'll have a URL that'll take you to a block of code. And what you're going to do is visit that URL and copy the contents. Once you've done that, open up a terminal, and what we'll do is edit the .bashrc file. You could use whatever text editor you want. I'm just going to use Nano because it's simpler for the tutorial. And here we have the file. And inside this file, what we'll do is scroll all the way down, and we'll add the code right about here. And I'll explain exactly what's going on shortly, but for right now, let's save the file and see if it works. So I'll hold Control and press O to bring up the Save dialog, and then I'll press Enter to save the file. Now what we'll do is exit the editor, and now we're back to the prompt. At this point, you can log out, log in, or restart your shell, and the change should take effect. But to make it happen a little quicker, what we could do is type exec, and then bash, just like that. I'll clear the screen, and now watch what happens when I go into another directory. In my current working directory, I have a git directory. So what I'll do is just change into that directory. And check it out, automatic ls. To understand better what's going on and how this works, let's break down the code. What we have right here is a function. And I've covered functions in my bash scripting series. It's a full course that's available here on YouTube for free that'll teach you everything you need to know when it comes to writing bash scripts. You should definitely check out that course if you haven't already done so. But to summarize it, a function in bash is a block of code you could call anytime. You can name your function whatever you want, but in this case I named it cd, which actually ends up overriding the default cd command. Inside the function, we're first declaring a variable named new_directory, and what that'll do is store the directory that we're changing into. It's also checking to see if we've added no arguments, meaning if we use the cd command without specifying a directory. At that point, it'll default to our home directory. And this is intended to mimic the default behavior of the cd command, where you can simply type cd with no arguments to go back to your home directory. And to see what I'm talking about, what I'll do is just type cd. As you can see, it took me back to my home directory, but it also executed ls automatically because the function is in effect. Continuing, near the end, we have an ls command. And to better understand how that particular ls command is structured, we can actually enter it by itself. And this is the actual ls command that's being used within the function. And this variation of the ls command includes all of my favorite options. Here, I'm using options -L, H, and F, with -L enabling a long listing, -H gives us human readable file sizes, and the -F option appends an indicator to the end of files, such as including a slash after directory names. The -- time style option sets the date format, and I use this format because I like to see dates with the year first. It just makes more sense to me. The -- color option will enable colorized output, and the - ignore option will hide files that would normally show up when we enter the ls command, but we'd rather not see. And you could customize the ls section of the function to include whatever your favorite ls options happen to be. Another thing that I want to point your attention to is built-in cd. It's the first section on the same line that includes ls. And basically what this does is force the cd command within the function to be your actual built-in cd command and not this function itself. We also have new _directory that's inside brackets, and there's also a $sign in front of it. What that'll do is set up a subshell which returns our desired directory. Putting this all together, you'll now have the ls command entered automatically every time you change directories. We'll get back to the video in just a moment, but I wanted to mention that if you haven't already done so, you should really check out the Learn Linux TV merch shop. After all, if you enjoy this channel, there's a good chance that you'll appreciate the kinds of things that I've put together over at merch.learnlinux.tv. It's all designed with Linux users in mind, not just as branding, but as items that are genuinely useful, fun, or both. And this isn't about pushing merch for the sake of it. I wanted to create things that feel like a natural extension of this channel. Practical references, clean designs, and the occasional inside joke that only really makes sense if you spend a lot of time in the terminal. Basically, it's merch for people who like Linux enough to care about the details. For example, in the shop you'll find the classic apt-install coffee tee, which is perfect for people that enjoy both Linux and coffee, which is probably the majority of my audience. You'll also find shirts that help make it obvious what your favorite distro happens to be, and even if you're indecisive, there's a shirt for that too. You'll also find cheat sheets, ebooks, cups, hats, and a lot more. So if you want to take a look, you'll find everything over at merch.learnlinux.tv. And as always, thank you to everyone that's already supported the channel, whether that's through the shop, watching the videos, or by just being a part of the community. I really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Before I close out the video, I'll give you another function that I find useful. So what I'll do is bring up the .bashrc file again, and here it is. I'll scroll all the way down to the end of the file, and we'll add this function right here. I'll paste it in, and here we have the new function. You can visit the URL on the screen to grab the code for this function. I'll also include it in the description down below. But what this will do is it'll make extracting compressed archives a lot easier. Regardless of what type of archive you happen to be working with, you can use the extract function like its own command to use the appropriate options to extract it. But unlike my cd function, which I came up with myself, I can't claim responsibility for the extract function. I found it online over a decade ago and I've been using it ever since. I'd love to give credit to whoever came up with this, but unfortunately I lost the source. But thank you to whoever did come up with this because it's super useful. And to show it off, what I'll do is save the file, and I'll close out. I'll type exec bash to refresh my shell, and I'll show you the function in action. Here I have a compressed archive, and what I'll do is use extract to extract it. So I'll press enter, and that's it. It extracted the compressed archive. I didn't have to remember the options or anything like that. The extract function took care of that for me. As you can see right here, it has several lines that correspond to different archive types. So regardless of the compressed archive type you're working with, this function should be able to handle it. But either way, I hope the cd function and possibly the extract function will help you out. And there's our video. In this video, I showed you how I set up cd to execute an automatic ls, and I hope you found this trick helpful. If you did, then be sure to click that like button to let YouTube know, and also subscribe to Learn Linux TV for the latest in Linux. I release new Linux-related content each and every week. With all that said, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.